here with us Honorable Justice Okon A. Aban. You're welcome, sir. Honorable Justice P.A. Bassi. Honorable Justice Oyedoju Oyewumi. Honorable Justice V.T. Nwoye. And many others who are here who we will be recognizing later. Let me recognize Honorable Justice Peter O. Ige, retired Justice of the Court of Appeal, representing the Chief Judge of the FCT High Court is Honorable Justice Miriam Aneni. Your hands together, please. Thank you very much. It's not easy for judicial officers to step out of their court. Anytime a judicial officer leaves the court to come for functions like this, it has ripple effects. There are people who would be wondering why the judge is not, but they have a way of communicating to these various people. Also here with us are some presiding justices of the Court of Appeal. We want to recognize with all humility the presiding justice of the Court of Appeal, Justice Mohammed A. Danjuma. Thank you very much, sir. Honorable Justice J.O.K. Oyewole, PJ, presiding, one of the presidings in the Court of Appeal. I do also humbly recognize Honorable Justice A.I. Banjoko, Court of Appeal. Honorable Justice D.Z. Senchi, Honorable Justice A.B. Mohammed, now I know I have goofed because I went to the second page and recognized these justices in the reverse order. And so, please, apologies for that. I was supposed to have flipped my papers and gone to the first page. But these recognitions will continue. May I invite one of my colleagues, Emeritus, to please do another set of personality recognitions, please.
We're trying to get
Yesterday he presented a paper which gave us an inkling into what challenges we have ahead of us in the quest to reduce road crashes victims. He has been here before. He has been on this beat before. He has also moved to become the former Minister of Aviation in Nigeria, but then he still keeps very closely in touch to this assignment of sustaining humanity. Please, your hands together for the former Aviation Minister, Chief Osita Chidoka, and a former Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Commission. He is now the chairman and Board of Trustees chairman of the Alphonsus of the an organization that takes care of human endeavors across. May I also recognize our Sir, President of Lazare in Dakar, Senegal. She too gave us a speech yesterday. Please, our Sir, your hands together for her, please. Representing the Chief of Army Staff is Major General M.O. Erubulu. Your hands together for him. Thank you very much. He's here with us. Okay, he stepped out a little bit. May I recognize a member of the National Judicial Council, Engineer Nebolisa Emodi. Your hands together, please. Let's appreciate them. These are people who take care of judicial matters at the level of the National Judicial Council. Also amongst them is Hajia Fatima Made, member National Judicial Council. This conference is honored, this opening ceremony is honored with the presence of the Secretary of the Federal Judicial Service Commission, who here today is representing the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Hajia Halimatu Abdullahi Turaki. Your hands together for her, please. These names will still occur here, particularly after the opening ceremony. Those are people who will be part of the official opening. Representing the Chief Justice of Nigeria is a major issue for this event. You must have noticed, other than the uniform of the Road Safety Commission, you must have noticed some other very beautifully attired women here. Those are the Road Safety Officers' Wives Association members, and that great body is here duly led by Dr. Nafisat Shehu Mohammed. Please, your hands together for her. I also want to recognize other uniform bodies here. Our youth corps members who are members of the road safety part in their service. They use their service here to serve the nation through the Road Safety Commission. So thank you very much for coming. Your hands together for our youth corps members. Also here with us are our dearly beloved corps marshals, those people who, in addition to their individual professional callings, have decided to hand over their time in serving and making sure that our roads are safe. Please your hands together for our corps marshals here. They are seated. The Chinese embassy is represented by the first secretary and the third secretary, Miss Li Jin. And the third secretary in the Chinese embassy, Mr. Wang Hujian. Road safety call band, please let's have an interlude of music while we wait for the official opening ceremony to commence.
Beautiful rendition. Thank you very much. They're so professional in the way they play. Thank you. We're going to have a video allocution, and it's going to be from the UN Secretary General Special Envoy for Road Safety, Mr. Jean Todt.
Also, I address you recently at the International Road Traffic in Africa Conference. I stand with you in drawing attention to this silent family. Every second, someone is hurt for the rest of their life in a crash. Over 4 million people each month, the population of Abuja. These millions of human beings are not just statistics. They are your neighbors, your family, your children. In 2025, road crashes are still the #1 killer for ages 5 to 29. We cannot accept the death of our children at the cost of using our roads. The loss of these young lives is an emergency that cannot be overstated. Last month, I traveled to Nigeria for the national launch of the Make the Safety Statement campaign, the collaboration between the UN and the International Advertising Agency, ICWA. I was encouraged by the determination and skill of the group, but awareness alone is not enough. It must be a much serious. Today, Africa has the highest progress rate of any continent with an average of 19.6 per 100,000. This common and available list is the result of choices, priorities, and media. Children and families across the continent need governments to put road safety at the top of their agenda.
We also have here Honorable Justice Obande Ogbinya and Honorable Justice Sadiq Umar. Also here with us is one of the siblings of Kwabda, a judge of the FCT High Court. We give a special recognition to Honorable Justice B.N. Bassi. Your hands together for Honorable Justice B.N. Bassi. Some of the people that have toiled to bring joy from ashes, to bring life from ashes, to make sure that those victims who have gone before us have not gone in vain, which is why we have a great program such as this. Honorable Justice Obande and Honorable Justice Sadiq Umar are justices of the Court of Appeal. Please your hands together. I didn't hear your round of applause for them. Sorry, please. They are justices of the Supreme Court. Please, please, please. Of course, I can't demote them. God has promoted them already. So no mistake can demote them. Please, let's recognize justices of the Supreme Court that are here with us. Please, your hands together for them again. Thank you very much. Okay.
President, he is the Secretary to the Government of the Federation of Nigeria. At this juncture, he is Senator George Akume. At this juncture, we'll take the national anthem. Thank you very much. You can have your seats, distinguished gentlemen and ladies.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we shall have the press and to welcome us to this very auspicious occasion is no other person than the President of the Court of Appeal and the founder of Kwabda's Road Safety Demands, Honorable Justice Monica Dombam Menson, CFR. Please let's put your hands together for her as he comes to welcome us to this impactful conference. You're welcome.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, ably here represented by His Excellency Senator Akume, the Secretary of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellencies, my Lord, the Honorable, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Emeritus, my Lord Justice Ariola, who is here with us, my Lord, Justices of the Supreme Court, my Lords, Justices of the Court of Appeal, our dear participants, and I will appeal at this stage in line with best practice with international best practice to deem protocol duly observed. And therefore I say, Excellencies, I welcome you all to this very important gathering. Before I go to my speech, I would like to make a little comment about the presentation of the African Union speaker, who said that victims, one of whom I am, should not parade themselves and tell their stories. It is not a party, yes. but sometimes vision leaves lasting memory. It is very, very important that we tell our stories. And each year, on the 23rd of September, every year since my son died 14 years ago, I come out when we have campaign and I tell the gory story of how my son died. People must continue to hear this story until we each make a decision to stop it. You may have heard it. Another person might not have heard it. And for me, I shall continue to tell the story of how a reckless driver drove and knocked down my son, left him to bleed to death on the road. And fellow citizens of this our great nation were watching my son die. He died feeling betrayed by his people. I must continue telling this story until it stops. 2 or 3 weeks ago, a person, another woman died like that, exactly the way my son died. The whole feeling of what happened to my son came back afresh and is still with me. We have no apologies. We shall not stop. We shall continue to talk about this until we all rise up and say, no, enough is enough. And having said that, I start by saying that Africa is greatly troubled by the road crash phenomenon. The ratio of motor vehicles in Africa compared to Western countries is significantly lower. We don't produce cars, we don't produce vehicles in Africa, but we import them, and we import overused vehicles. And yet, we have the largest number of casualties from motor vehicles. Road crashes take as many as 650 lives per day. His Excellency Chidoka gave details yesterday, so I need not bore you with those details. My son, Kwabdas Ragnan Samson Dongban, was a very calm, gentle, loving, and amiable young man. He was waiting to go to the law school. We had invested, we trained him as a law graduate. He was waiting to go to the law school when he was knocked down. How can we ever forget that? My last discussion with my son was he wanted to settle down with a wife. He wanted me to help him to get a wife. I met the person he wanted to marry after his death. The pangs of seeing his body lowered into the earth brought to my mind the questions: how many souls live this love, their loved ones, the same way, the same agonizing way my son had left me. And I wonder, shall it continue? What can we do? And that led me to the FRSC. I thank the FRSC. They found my trembling feet and my teary eyes by helping me to start the foundation, KRSD. We are 14 years gone now. In the course of our campaign, we conducted driver training. We held several safety talks. We went to commercial drivers at motor parks. We went to schools. We went to the roads. We intervened in traffic flow. We went to golfers who are avid travelers. We spoke to different people, different class of people. Yet, we're still giving up lives on our roads. Then I wonder, are people not listening to us? Can they not hear? Don't they feel? That's fine. Since our jaw-jawing, talking has not helped, let us help fellow victims. Let us build a trauma center where grieving families can come and share their stories and support each other. Those of you who were out there yesterday and on Saturday, we saw how we bonded. Now, as I'm standing, I have sisters from Argentina. Vivian is here. I have sisters from Greece. Katie is here. You heard her sing. She has composed several songs about grieving. We have here with us Carol from South Africa. Our leader is here, Donna from Ireland, and many others. We have many people from different parts of Africa. This is about Africa. Yet, our common experiences bring us all together. Why Africa? Since my son left, I have attended several international conferences for road safety. Some of my friends and colleagues have supported me to buy tickets to attend some of these conferences. And at the conference, most times, Africa is in business compartment. I also noticed that most of the discussions dwelt on the Western world. Our needs were not being addressed. So I felt that it's time for Africa to speak out, to have its own, to take charge. We need to take care of our needs. Also, I've watched Donna, our leader, who is here with us now, struggle at every conference to have a little space for victims at international conferences. So I said, why not have our own conference where victims will be the core point, where we can speak and tell our stories and find ways and means of soothing our pain. That's why we're here. And we've been here for the past few days. Sorry. We've been here. We started with driver training. We trained about 100 and something drivers. We also had campaign, enlightenment campaign. We had cycling, golfing. Many people came out, all part of the campaign for road safety. And again, I've also seen, as a public servant, working as a judicial officer, I've seen that government cannot do everything. Therefore, I thought we should appeal to the private sector. I thought that the trauma center should be private sector driven. Collaboration is very, very important. Like I said, it was the FRSC that helped me to firm my trembling feet at the loss of my son. So I went back to where I know best, the FRSC. I saw the commercial, and we put heads together, and we started talking to the private sector. It took several trips to different places to appeal to people to join us to sponsor this conference and also help us to start the trauma center. And by the grace of God, we're here today. We have the blessing of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for this conference to hold. By his grace, by his support, we've had the Honorable the Minister of the FCT allocate a piece of land to us. And in his compassion, we turned Alhaji Aliko Dangote into a beggar on our behalf. He went round, he spoke to his fellow students of industries, and they came out to support us. I'm happy to say that Alhaji Dangote is coming later to help us lay the foundation of the trauma center. That is to mark our commitment, to show that there is no going back. And as we go out, we shall continue to tell our gory stories. We hope that we shall build this trauma center, even if it is just one room for now, and equip it with telephones, that anybody who sees a road crash, just call our number. We'll find a way and get help to the needy. We have victims of road crash. People, very, very resourceful people whose lives have been reduced. The potency of their life has been reduced. They have not stopped. They have continued. But you know how it is when you have to rely on help to do everything. We have here with us my dear sister, Bright, who came all the way from Kenya. She's there on the wheelchair. You all heard her testimony. We have many of such. We have one of us here, Irma, where is he? He's around here. He's using an artificial limb, and he still requires, more treatment. There are many who are in their homes, they can't even go out. In the course of our campaign, we've met them, we've seen many of them. We've seen families, their breadwinners gone. No farewell, no last word. What happened? Nobody knows. But what we do know is that an uncaring motorist knocked them down. And often I say, even if you fly everywhere you go to, you must walk to your room. And in walking to your room, somebody can just crash here. There's this story of a wealthy man. He bought a car. Each time he was going out, his wife would say, Alhaji, Ajelafia, Adawalafia. In other words, may God protect you as you go. He said, oh, no problem, I'm not going far away. Until one day, right in front of his house, somebody rammed into him. Thereafter, the wife said, oh, thank you very much. Amen, amen, amen. We don't have to wait to be in it before we take action. I'm calling on all the Africans here present, and particularly Mr. President, that you will help us to talk to your brothers to take road safety issues to a higher level. We are not giving enough attention to it, especially in Africa. We are not taking care of the victims. It's not enough to dole out some little arms here and there. They are not beggars. They are just people who have been rendered helpless by the thoughtlessness of others. We need laws. The Senate President is represented. We have governors here represented. We need laws that are enforceable, laws that are up to date, not laws that were made in 2027. I mean, in 19 or maybe 17. Yes, our laws are very archaic, and it takes too long to get them amended. And this is an African malaise, it's not only Nigeria. So please, Mr. President, I'm appealing that as an elder brother, you should talk to your other heads of government, presidents of African countries, to give more attention to road safety, to uplift, give hope to the hopeless, rendered hopeless not by their inactivity, but by the recklessness of fellow citizens. I'm appealing to all of us, individuals, corporate organizations, to join this campaign. Is very, very important. If each one of us here donates 10 naira towards the building of the trauma center, it will take us a long way. It is not a hospital, it is a home for comfort where we can call for help. And we need legislation that should compel hospitals to respond when we call. We need the insurance companies to up their acts and serve the people and not themselves. I'm sorry that I can't call your name, but she said it, that it's not about wearing uniform. And I can say that FRSC in Nigeria is not about wearing uniform. They are doing a very great job. They are very compassionate people. In preparing for this conference, I have worked with FRSC officials since, is it February we started? Or so, April. We have worked with them and I've seen their skill, their commitment, their patience. They ought to be encouraged. Well, I've veered off my speech, but it is all on the same subject. His Excellency Mr. Chidoka, he has experienced, you can see his compassion, because he has lost loved ones. Do we have to wait to lose a loved one before we take steps and cure? So why don't we prevent? I have watched horrible accidents here in Abuja, in spite of the fact that our roads are very good in Abuja. So what is it? What is wrong? People are getting away with a lot of things. It shouldn't be. People should be held responsible for their bad conduct. People should pay. When we raise this issue in our international victims partners, one of us said that it's not about revenge. No, it's not about revenge. It's about holding people responsible for their conduct. Be responsible. You must take charge. If you fail to take charge, you should pay. You should compensate the victims of your recklessness. That's what we are talking about. So, for coming, I'm hoping that the African group who are gathered here will have a meeting and we will come out with a statement. I am praying that IRCVAC, being the first ever conference held for victims and with particular focus on Africa, will not be the last. I'm hoping that this is just a stepping stone for greater collaboration and more meaningful action to keep our roads safe, our citizens safe on the road, and to take care of those who have become victims. And victims, I am a victim. On Saturday, I showed my granddaughter, who is a victim because she never met her uncle. She's 7 years old. Her uncle died 14 years ago. So people are making victims of innocent people. It's not fair, it's not right. We should do something about it. So I thank you all for coming. For the past 1 week, we have been talking to each other, and I believe that all that we have said, all our efforts will not go without fruits. And the evidence is here. We have international participants, and here in Nigeria, we are supported by the very top echelon of governance in Nigeria. We feel most honored, and I welcome you all. I appreciate you all. May God continue to bless us. May none of you here be a victim of road crash. Thank you very much.
Those were the words from His Lordship, Honorable Justice Monica Dongba-Mensah, CFR, the President, Court of Appeal, and founder, Kwabda's Road Safety Demand. Thank you very much for the beautiful opening remark. I am a victim also, but my pains to my passion. And that's why I'm an officer of the Federal Road Safety. I was just 10 when I lost my father to road traffic crash on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, leaving my poor mother with 7 children. I was the last of the 7 children. And I said, oh, I will study medicine. Because he died of internal bleeding, he was saving every other person. On getting to the hospital, my father died first. He had internal bleeding. I thought I was studying medicine to save every other road user. I don't want anybody to die. Unfortunately, fate, here am I, as a public enlightenment officer of the Federal Road Safety, preach the gospel of safety to everyone so that no other person will be a victim. My family was lucky, but some might not be lucky. I could have been.
You are watching CTV.
Hey, una never hear Catholic Television of Nigeria. Nine be the ogbonge television station for town. Where this Catholic Television of Nigeria dey? E dey Wuse Zone 2, Mabolo Street, number 51. Wetin you dey wait for? Come advertise with us on Catholic Television. The Catholic Television dey opposite that Catholic church when they call Holy Rosary Catholic Church. Come and advertise with us on Catholic Television of Nigeria.
You are watching CTV. You are watching CTV.
Hey, una never hear Catholic Television of Nigeria. Nine be the ogbonge television station for town. Where this Catholic Television of Nigeria dey? E dey Wuse Zone 2, Mabolo Street, number 51. Wetin you dey wait for? Come advertise with us on Catholic Television. The Catholic Television dey opposite that Catholic church when they call Holy Rosary Catholic Church. Come and advertise with us on Catholic Television of Nigeria.
You are watching CTV. You are watching CTV.
Hey, una never hear Catholic Television of Nigeria. Nine be the ogbonge television station for town. Where this Catholic Television of Nigeria dey? E dey Wuse Zone 2, Mabolo Street, number 51. Wetin you dey wait for? Come advertise with us on Catholic Television. The Catholic Television dey opposite that Catholic church when they call Holy Rosary Catholic Church. Come and advertise with us on Catholic Television of Nigeria.
You are watching CTV. You are watching CTV.
Hey, una never hear Catholic Television of Nigeria. Nine be the ogbonge television station for town. Where this Catholic Television of Nigeria dey? E dey Wuse Zone 2, Mabolo Street.
Not Kaduna State. My lords, the Commercial Federal Republic of Nigeria, delegate representing from various countries, my distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm here. My name is Major Garba Hayarimi, retired. I'm here to represent the governor of Katsina State, Malam Diko Umar Radda, PhD, Swain. It is a great honor to deliver this address on behalf of His Excellency, Malam Diko Ahmed Radda, the governor of Katsina State, at this year International Road Crash Victims African Conference, Abuja. On behalf of the government and people of Katsina State, I extend warm greetings and commend the organizers for providing this credible platform for dialogue, remembrance, and collective actions. The conference is of profound importance. It is not only honor victims of road crashes and strengthen our shared resolve towards prevention, emergency response, and sustainable safety system across Africa. The team aligns with other administrations on well-being, commitment to protecting lives and property. A central pillar of governance in Katsina State. Under the visionary leadership of His Excellency, Governor Diko Umar Radda, PhD, CON, road safety has been repositioned as a public health, economy, and moral obligations. Every life lost on our roads represents not only a tragedy, but a national loss. Guided by these principles, Katsina State has adopted a comprehensive technology-driven and community-based approach to risk. A major milestone in our journey today towards safe roads was the establishment of Katsina State Safety and Road Traffic Authority, KASROTA, a unifying institution responsible for enforcement, regulation, and safety education. Before its creation, traffic in the state was fragmented and reactive, lacking coordination and institutional presence. Under the visionary leadership of His Excellency Governor Malandiko Umarada, PhD, the authority has witnessed significant transformation and capacity expansion. His Excellency graciously approved a recruitment of 304 marshals to strengthen KASROTA. Today, we have deployed them into 13 zones and to assist in coordinating safety on our roads. Today, with 400 marshals, we are able to cover most part of Katsina State, purposely to safeguard life of the people coming in and out of Katsina State. Furthermore, to launch campaign against vehicle overloading, we have the Katsina State government just launched with the cooperation with other security agencies to prevent overloading and also mixing of animals and human beings together. Okay. In addition to most of these police has given approval for database to be collected, and we have already started. So I'm sure before the end of this year, we are going to get all data of vehicle coming in and out of Katsina State. Katsina State Governor Malandiko Umarada is always on top of the situation to make sure life and property are safe. And also he has given approval for us to recruit what we call KASROTA volunteers team across the 361 wards, political wards of the state, which will give us total of about 3,600 people, that road users, and then the common man within the system, so that we will not have crashes within the state and the country. Thank you very much, By Excellency.
May we put hands together once again for that wonderful speech. We shall break protocol and move straight to the keynote address. Which, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to bring to the podium the Chairman, Senate Committee on Interior and former Governor of Edo State, distinguished Senator Adams Oshomole, CON. Please let's put our hands together for him as he gives the keynote address.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ably and competently represented by my friend, my comrade, now Secretary to Government of the Federation, former Senator George Akume, the President of the Court of Appeal, who is the founder and proprietor of Law Marshal of Road Safety, and very other important dignitaries. In fact, everybody that here is important. I wore my khaki so that I can look like a road safety officer. Only that, as you can see, I have not enjoyed promotion for as long as I've been wearing this. And our elder statesman, thank you so much. It's a great pleasure seeing all of you. Of course, my friend. I accepted the invitation, and my being here was obviously by accident. I met with the Corps Marshal, and like I've always done, I shared with him my concerns about a whole range of issues. And then he told me, incidentally, they are going to have this program, and the founder of this foundation, there's any one of us who has not been, by definition, a victim of avoidable and preventable road accident leading to loss of lives and several other people maimed, etc., etc. And as I reflect on her decision to set up a foundation to raise awareness, I realized that going back, even the whole idea of road safety was an idea of one man. If I remember very well, Professor Wole Soyinka, who set it up as a voluntary contribution to ensure that that people comply with road safety regulations, which for me is in line with this particular initiative, that it is not only government. Every citizen has a right to think, to reflect, not to shed tears, but to do something positive to affect our environment in any way that you think Nigeria is lacking behind. And so I congratulate you, and I think on this occasion, it is just right that we congratulate Professor Wole Soyinka for a huge initiative before the federal government thought it fit to enact a formal decree. I believe it was under General Babangida in 1988 to give legal backing to this association, which is why the Corps Marshal can now approach the Senate for appropriation to have money to run the system. It's no longer a voluntary affair. But as I reflect on this, first, my Lord, I lost a younger sister. The only person who would have shown to my family, to members of the public, that even within my family, we have very beautiful people. My younger sister was extremely beautiful. So that people don't judge my family by my own looks. You know? But this very beautiful lady was wasted on our highways. Just last year, my son was going to get married, and we invited friends. And till today, I feel the pain that among those who came from Edo to Kaduna, to Abuja, on their way back, they were involved in road accident and many lives were wasted. And among these people who lost their lives are people who had children in universities who have been orphaned, and their wives are not in a position, being housewife, not working, to provide for the education of those children. I have to find a way to take the burden so that we can lessen the pain by ensuring that these children don't drop at school. So I believe that my story, many of us here, if we are not directly affected, will be directly affected. So the import of this for me is clear. However, I want to go to the point. There are some basic things, if you look at the law, establish the road safety. Among other things, you are supposed to ensure that before a man gets into a car and on a wheel, as a driver, you are supposed to ensure that he's properly tested, and somebody carry out that testing, and if he's driving on the road, he should wear to show that he's a learner. And so if you are driving behind him, you have to be careful, because this guy is just learning how to drive. Here in the city of Abuja, I don't know when last, I saw someone with letter L to indicate to the person driving behind that, look, I don't know how to drive, I am learning. So we have, I don't know the numbers, hundreds of people or thousands of people who are driving across Nigeria without vehicle access. Many have even argued that the road safety need to be more meticulous so that we avoid a situation where people who are even blind acquire driver's license. So you also have your own fair share to do soul searching and say, who can you do differently to ensure that those who drive on our roads are qualified, competent, and certified by the Road Safety Commission. By the Road Safety, yes? So if you're not happy about it, when I get to the city, we'll change the name. And I just ask myself, I think prevention must be emphasized rather than caring. Because talking about the victim, the young man that died, you share the pain. But none of us can say we can give him relief. So the emphasis should be on prevention. Across the cities of Nigeria, and even here in Abuja, even where you have road markings, what I have never seen, and as I'm going back now, I will drive slowly to see in case I drive too far. That's why I've not noticed it. I haven't seen where it is written, you are approaching a bend, slow down to 40 kilometers per hour, or slow down to 70 kilometers per hour. Government and authorities and the road safety basic road signs are there. We drive on highways without marking, 4 lanes, and the drivers are doing palogo on the highway because there is those basic things such as road marks across Nigeria in the federal highway. Because in the law setting up this commission, it says that basic infrastructure, where roads are bad and drivers are negotiating between potholes and other things, you often find that the result is that you have a head-on collision. I spoke about people who are driving, who are blind, and they are on our highways. I had a driver. I noticed that he denied, he just tried to find his way, and I said, wait, you need to go for test. He has a driver's license. And he said he doesn't like wearing glasses. I said, even me, this one is not part of my uniform. I'm wearing it because if I don't wear it, I can read, but I'll be straining my eyes. So wearing glasses is not, it's not anything to be ashamed of. In fact, some people there is fashion. This driver told me he can't wear glasses, and he refused to wear glasses until he had to retire. I am sure there are many like that if you do random check and you bring your ophthalmologist here and there, you'll be able to find that many people who are driving us are not fit and proper person to drive. Also in that law, enabling law that set up this commission, you are supposed to provide for mobile clinics. Because if an accident occurs in the highway, between the location of the accident and the nearest hospital may be so that the victim might bleed to death. And so you are supposed to have mobile clinic. Again, I want to ask myself and ask any one of you, if you have found a clinic, a mobile clinic, being managed by the commission, maybe you can throw it back at us that we did not appropriate. But I throw it back to you. Did you make the recommendation? Because whatever we do, accident will occur. But many lives can simply say there's prompt intervention by people who are trained to deal with such emergencies on the highway. My law spoke to the issue of updating our laws. The current law was not made during Mogo Park. I think this law was made in 1988 and was further amended in 1992 before Parliament converted it to Act in 2000. So it's not really an old law. But I would like to ask the Court Martial, as we speak, because under that law you have the power of prosecution. Do you have idea of anybody who is currently facing charges on account of dangerous driving? Because, my Lord, I am one of those who believe that sermon, maybe pastors do because they live on it. He who preaches the word of the Lord shall live on it. But in the real world, I do not believe that what we do or abstain from doing is as a result of ignorance. And that persuasion and enlightenment, good as it is, for me is not enough. Like one officer told me, each time you fire a weapon by members of the armed forces, army, police, air force, and you fire to the air as police officers do, you demystify. But when you fire as a soldier, if your purpose was to kill the enemy, make sure you bring him down. The only those who want to die will continue to approach you. So if we have a country in which people breach the law, and above all of us on the front row here, I don't want to look for trouble, but if the truth be told, there will be trouble. Because virtually many people here, we drive against traffic. Reason? Because we are big men. You are driving against traffic, and sometimes that leads to accident. And the big man is not prosecuted. Why? Because he's big. Only recently, the Nigerian police decided to arrest those who are driving vehicles with tinted glasses, which means a criminal can commit a crime, get into a car with tinted glasses, and the police or members of the public can't identify. My Lord, a federal high court ruled that the police should stay action. And so misuse of tinted vehicles continues. I have seen very powerful people around the world who obey traffic laws. Even governors in the US, if you drive and cross the red light, you are prosecuted by the state police. By the state police, and you will keep your job. So when I look around our environment, I think there are some basic things we need to do, and we as leaders should lead by example so that others can follow. And the day you arrest a big man and arrest his driver, charge him to court, and he's sent to jail, that will have greater impact than 1 week sermon on please drive carefully. Please drive carefully. I was once in Canada, 2 experiences. And I was rushing back to Nigeria to catch a flight. And my colleague there, a union leader, decided to increase the speed so that I can meet up with the flight. And we were approaching a bend. They had written there 50 kilometers per hour. Sign is there. And we're doing like 60. A policeman pulled up and stopped us. And the guy said, oh, sorry, this is a big man from Nigeria. He has very important assignment. I wasn't governor, I was just a labor president. In any case, at that time I had troops. Now I don't have troops. And he tried to seduce the man to, and the guy was smiling. He said, oh, very sorry, very sorry, very sorry. But let me see your driver's license. And he picked the driver's license and marked it and put the fine there, which he has to pay. And the guy there is stupid. Now he has to pay that fine, and if he repeats that offense twice, that driver's license. So the Nigeria importer personality which he claimed I was, I had to slow down, otherwise I may not even be able to travel that day. I might end up somewhere else. On another occasion, this time was in US, my daughter was driving me to airport. Because we are always in a hurry, we are overworked, overloaded, particularly when I was in NLC. If I don't do what I had to do, Abuja will do what he shouldn't do. Now again, I asked my daughter, speed. The flight will soon take off. No, Daddy, this is the rule. I said, but the police are not here. Just increase it a little bit. Some people have said, no, Daddy, we can't. Okay, if I miss the flight, you will bear the consequences. As she increased the throttle to increase the speed, Then we had a sign, boom, boom, and we stopped. And then a policeman pulled up and said, where are you going to airport? I said, I'm missing my flight. Oh, very sorry about that. Oh, what a pity. Anyway, your driver's license. So he collected the license, go back to his own car to check. And again, that is why I'm critical about proliferation of all kinds of institutions for every crime. This policeman went back to his car, apparently had a computer there to check not the fact that we have exceeded the driving the limit, but to see whether she is on the wanted list. She took her time, and my daughter she said, we can't even come out of the car, we have to remain in the car. Because if you come out, maybe you have a weapon, so you have to remain in the car. This guy took his time up to 15 minutes, maybe to make sure that I miss the flight. But she wasn't wearing any frown. She didn't frown, no nothing. She booked her. I said, okay, thank you, but please obey the law. And that's it. So in Nigeria, as a senator, I found the road is blocked. I asked my driver, drive against traffic. And when they stop you, I will ask, you don't know who I am? My friend, I'm missing my job. You don't know who I am? Even those who sermonize on television, TV hosts. We saw a case in Lagos. For this purpose, I will not mention the name, but he liked mentioning people's names. He was driving against traffic, and a Lagos road transport, you know the name. Said, okay, you shouldn't drive this way. And he said, I will call the governor. Do you know who I am? This is somebody who sermonized to us on Arise TV every morning about rule of law. I have to mention Arise TV because that is where he works. And that is the truth. And if I'm provoked, I will also mention his name. So I think we do have some laws. My Lord, we have some laws. I think the problem is for the police and the civil defense, a road safety corps, to have the courage to ensure that the no excess of law is to regulate not just those who are weak, but even those who are powerful. And for me, the law makes more sense when it brings a powerful man to behave. Because without laws, we are just like animals. Everybody will do whatever he wants. I have 10 minutes to speak. And I think that suits my purpose because I did a written speech. My conclusion is this. Between this location and the city gate, have you seen any road sign telling you the speed limit? Do we need the law to compel whoever to put speed limit? Because central to accident is the issue of speed. If the speed is how much? So I think that there are just basic things we need to check and enforce. Lastly, you are my friend, but we wear the same khaki, so let me tell you some truth. You know, as I traveled the highway last year at Murtala Bridge near Okene, near Lokoja, you had about 7 kilometers of traffic jam. I didn't see any road safety officer. The people I saw were military men. The armed forces are not meant to enforce traffic laws. And at 6 p.m., even where you find road safety, they have disappeared. But it's actually they're limited today. Where are the road safety officers? And soldiers are not trained to persuade motorists. They are trained to deal with anybody who did something that, in their view, require a weapon, supposed to be the gun, which is not advisable in a civil environment. So I want to use this opportunity, as they say, prevention is better than cure. I will appeal to you, CJ, to compel your officers to enforce the laws as they are. A driver is supposed to recheck, even if I have these eyeglasses. Doctors advise that after some years should go back and recheck, because it is possible that my eyes are deteriorating and I need to improve on the quality of the glass, of my eyeglasses. I think around the country, every one of us, each and every one of us can do something differently when we are on the road. Lastly, sir, in that road, in the law establishing the road safety corps, you are supposed to regulate the use and misuse of siren vehicles. If we conduct a SIPO test now and it's limited to the armed forces, fire, and maybe ambulance, these are the only people who are entitled to use siren. But I will spare you the embarrassment. Otherwise, I was going to wait. Even though judges cannot be witnesses, my Lord, we wait here and see how many illegal, even to this convention, this conference, how many people came here who are not eligible. They are not army, they are not police, they are not hierarchy government official like the president representing the president, and they have siren, and they blow it all over the town and all over the country. Do we need a new law to enforce that one? If you were to convict 1, 2, 3 persons for misuse of siren, maybe some other people will elect not to use it. So my conclusion is, let's do whatever we can do, because the whole thing about democracy is celebration of the rule of law. Law, not weapon, not might, not who am I, who are you. Because a lot of these accidents can be prevented. You see the trucks on our roads. You wonder whether they are regulated by any law. I even now begin to suspect that a lot of our drivers are high on drugs. Because when you see the way they drive those trucks, and one of them told me, if they hit you, you are in trouble. If you hit them, you are in trouble. Therefore, they don't care how they drive. And just last week, for to enforce the law, a road traffic vehicle from here to Abuja simply decided to block the road and left. And we had to beg. They have to make a phone call to find out who is the owner, to plead for him to remove the truck. Otherwise, I spent 4 hours from Abuja to Kaduna because a bad guy had decided to block the road. As I speak, I don't think that guy is facing any prosecution. So law not a force. Give people the false illusion that they are protected. It is better we enforce the law, and as judges we often say, make an example that no one is above the law. That way, the current laws as they are, if they are enforced, I'm sure we can reduce the rate of accident. Sir, the other thing I think you should pay attention to is the people who are importing second-hand tires, or so-called rewired. We have Standard Organization of Nigeria. Why would they allow how do you describe now? This tire that have been used, second-hand tires, and they bring them here, they're on the highway. And I also know that under the law, you are supposed to have a unit that determines whether a vehicle is roadworthy or not. If you just look at Abuja, not outside Abuja, you will see vehicles that even as a layman, those vehicles are not roadworthy. And why is roadworthiness important? Because a lot of the accidents occur because the guy says the brake failed. And it's overloaded beyond the capacity prescribed. There are several things that I think are common sense based. But I do agree that this is not a day to lament. It is a day to say, what do we do differently? So that the situation that led to the death of the young man and the one that led to the death of my very beautiful sister, you and I can do something different raise awareness, enforce the law, deal with those who are determined to breach the law, and prayerfully, our roads will be safer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. That was an excellent keynote address I will always like to recognize him as the former president of the NLC and also the former governor of Edo State. Thank you very much, sir. But I would like to also encourage you, sir. Your speech was very interesting and you delivered it excellently well. But I would like to encourage you, as they say, you are wonderfully and beautifully and fearfully made by God. Yes, sir. Just like some Nigerian musicians sang, nobody ugly. Thank you very much, sir, for the excellent speech. Please, I think you should give him a resounding round of applause. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We are so grateful, sir. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the executive chairman of the EFCC. He's here present. Help me celebrate Dr. Olanipekun Olukayode. A round of applause. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. We're going to take the keynote address, the speech, goodwill message from the CJN, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, and she's ably represented by the Secretary, Federal Judicial Commission. Please help me welcome to take the podium, Hajia Halima Abdullahi Turaki. Please celebrate her with a round of applause as she'll be giving us her goodwill message for just 2 minutes. Welcome.
I'm pleased to be a part of the International Road Crash Victims African Conference 2025, taking place in the beautiful city of Abuja, Nigeria. I count it a worthy privilege to stand in for the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice KMO Kekere-Okun, GCON. Before I present His Lordship's paper, I want to use this opportunity to sincerely commend the organizers for this noble venture, which aims at bringing together stakeholders and victims globally to address the challenge of road traffic accident in the view of its negative impact on individual families, communities, and the nation at large. This conference presents a platform to share ideas, initiatives, and experiences towards addressing the menace of road traffic accidents. It is my sincere hope and prayers that you enjoy the best of the conference. Goodwill message of my Lord, the Honorable CJN. It is with deep respect and heartfelt compassion that I extend my goodwill to all participants at this maiden edition of the International Road Crash Victims African Conference, Abuja. This conference is not only timely, but profoundly humane. It brings to the fore an issue that touches the very fabric of our shared existence, the sanctity of life and the pain of its sudden loss. Each road crash victim represents more than a statistics. They represent a story interrupted, a child, a parent, a colleague, or a friend whose absence leaves an indelible void in our collective consciousness. I commend the Fair Road Safety Co. and the Demand Foundation for this visionary initiative. The foundation itself stands as a living memorial to Kwabdas Samson Dangban, whose untimely passing in a tragic road crash gave birth to a movement that now offers hope, advocacy, and healing to countless families across Nigeria and beyond. The courage and grace with which the President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice Monica Dangban-Mason, PCA CFR, has transformed personal grief into purposeful action, serve as a timely reminder of how love and faith through the KRSD Foundation. Her son's legacy continues to speak, urging us to remember, to support, and above all, to act. This conference, therefore, is a call to conscience. It challenges us to see everything as an inevitability, but as preventable tragedy. It calls upon policymakers, law enforcers, health professionals, and the judiciary to work together in building a culture of accountability, compassion, and safety. The advocacy for the establishment of Trauma Recovery Center for road crash victims here in Abuja is a monumental step in that direction. As stakeholders in the justice system, we recognize that behind every crash lies not just fiscal harm, for fair compensation, for responsibility, and for reform. It is our moral duty to ensure that the law not only punishes negligence, but also protects the dignity of victims and their families. May this gathering strengthen our resolve to make our roads safer, our institutions more responsive, and our societies more humane. May the spirit of Kwabda's host light continues to guide the KRSD Foundation, inspire us to build a future where fewer families live. I wish the organizers and all participants fruitful deliberations and enduring success in this noble cause. Thank you, and may God bless all.
Please encourage the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kokereokun, who has just been represented. Thank you very much. There is a constituency here, there is a family here that are also very relevant to what we have been doing. It's the medical constituency. We have quite a number of them who have also been part of this and have shown that, just like Jesu Tomikwe said, battle of making sure that more people do not die and they go through the medical route. Some others decide to go through the road safety route. Now, these people are medical personalities who are here with us and have been part of this event. Please may I recognize Dr. Isaac Inyang, Chairman, CEO, Royal Eagle Leadership Empowerment Foundation, USA. Please, your hands together for him. Thank you very much for coming. Professor Sidney Ihenusi, the National President of the Nigerian Orthopedic Association and Chairman AO Trauma Nigeria Council. Thank you very much. We also have Dr. Peter Deshi, who is a veteran accident and orthopedic surgeon, who is also here. Thank you very much, sir, for coming and being part of this. From the judiciary, we have seen sitting patiently Honorable Justice of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice Mohammed Danjuma, and Honorable Justice of the Court of Appeal, Justice Ehia Sabo. Also here with us are Justice Binta Inyako and one of the presiding justices of the Court of Appeal, Justice H.K. Barka. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, now we take a particular breath to hear from the top of the height of leadership in Nigeria, the representative of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Honorable Justice, Senator, I'm sorry, Senator, please, our fanfare to welcome him to the high table for the speech of the President. Secretary to the Federal.
Please be seated. I think he was dressing me in borrowed robes. My glasses. My Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria Emeritus, my Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, ably represented, my Lord, the President of the Court of Appeal, Lordship Monica Dongwe-Mensin, CFR, other lordships here present, the Chairman Senate Committee on Road Safety, His Excellency, comrade, bourgeois comrade, from Edo State, my worthy friend, comrade, you are welcome, Oshomole. The Corps Marshal, the Chairman EFCC, and other top government functionaries, our partners, international participants, captains of industry, especially the other statesman, Chief Arthur Eze, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm standing in for the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR. He's not here now because he's equally engaged in other very important state matters. Your Excellencies, permit me to read his statement. I am deeply honored to address this inaugural International Road Crash Victims Africa Conference taking place in our beautiful capital city of Abuja. The conference's theme, Gathering Africa and the World for Road Crash Victims, unite us in a common fight for a solution to reverse the epidemics of road transport crashes in our country. This team embodies a profound commitment and a pressing call to action. According to the World Health Organization, each year approximately 1.1 million people are killed in road traffic crashes worldwide, with another 50 million others injured. In the first half of 2025, Nigeria reported over 5,000 road crashes and at least 1,593 road traffic fatalities, representing a 3.9% increase in overall crashes compared to the same period in 2024. It is doubtful if anyone here has not experienced a close relative who is a victim of road traffic crashes. Some victims even have permanent scars from the injuries sustained in auto crashes. As a government, administration will continue to prioritize measures that will promote safe motoring across Nigeria. The ongoing Coastal and Sokoto-Badagry superhighways, as well as other road rehabilitation projects nationwide, and the support to state governments to expand their road networks are part of the federal government's deliberate efforts to make road transportation safer and more reliable. The government is modernizing other modes of transportation, such as railways and waterways. My participation at this conference, alongside various stakeholders, including state governments, the international community, the civil society, the private sector, and most importantly, survivors and their families, highlights our collective responsibility. This buttresses the federal government's resolve that road safety is not merely a policy issue, but remains a fundamental human rights necessity. As we honor the victims of road crashes, we should learn from each other's experiences, share practices, and build strong international partnerships. The safe system approach and the UN Decade of Action for Road Safety goals provide a veritable framework to guide the conclusions from this international conference. The federal government will await the findings of the conference to inform the development of road safety policies and practices in our country. I have been briefed that today's event would also lead to the establishment of a private sector-led world cluster to provide succor to victims of road traffic crashes in the country. We certainly need a center like this, along with the ones already built by the federal government, some states, and the private sector, as well as we have the highest road injury death rate globally at 52.4% per 100,000 people. The federal government wholeheartedly supports this initiative as it complements our efforts to provide health care. I therefore commend the Kwamda's Road Safety Demand Foundation for acting in accordance with its mantra of dignifying a life by saving a life. Her collaboration with the Federal Road Safety Corps is a worthy example of government and NGOs collaboration. We are confident that with the campaigns by various stakeholders sustained through multiple media platforms, Nigeria will better address the dangers which road traffic crashes pose to our collective safety. I urge the participants at this conference to move beyond words to decisive action. Let this conference be a turning point where Africa and the world unite, not just to remember the victims, but to commit to a future where every journey ends safely. As a government, I assure you that we shall continue to support global efforts in conjunction with the Federal Road Safety Corps, other government agencies, civil society, non-governmental organizations, and the private sector to create a country where road traffic crashes lead to zero deaths. I wish you all a productive conference and look forward to its positive outcomes. It is therefore my pleasure to declare open the International Road Crash Victims Africa Conference. Thank you. And to the President of the Court of Appeal, our condolence remains with you. God bless you all.
Yes, sir. Here is a document from the International Road Assessment Program, National Program License Agreement. I will call on some people to come and sign the document, and then it will be presented formally to the President. I'll call on Mr. Greg Smith, CEO IRAP, and Natalie Chiavasa. You're welcome, ma. We also have the appointed desk officer, Nigeria RAP, Engineer Omale Eja Dandi. He's also going to be signing the document, and afterwards it's going to be presented to the President. And so they're presenting the official document to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume.
Okay, we do it together. Look. Your Excellency, everyone,
The Federal Road Safety Corps and the International Road Assessment Program are honored to give you the first copy today of the establishment of the Nigeria Road Assessment Program. This program aims at eliminating high-risk roads and locations from the road network, improving the performance of road infrastructure in terms of safety. No more way to school, killing children, no more unsafe intersections. And let's together start the real work to eliminate risk roads from Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think we should give the representative of the president a resounding round of applause. Senator George Akume. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Okay. Man, he asks that you can please sit down. He doesn't want to stress you too much. Ladies and gentlemen, you can have your seats. While it's exchanging pleasantries, I'll call on the former Corps Marshal, also the former Minister of Aviation, a very wonderful gentleman, somebody that is passionate about this cause. Please help me celebrate as I make welcome Honorable Osita Chidoka. Please celebrate with a round of applause as he comes up. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. And Secretary to Government of the Federation, who is representing the President, and all the VIPs here present, I want to stand on existing protocol. First, Senator Adams Oshomole, I'm happy that he's here and he made the keynote speech. And I want to remind him of what he said at the National Council of State when he was governor. FRSC has, this year, it's an organization that keeps, this year they've arrested over 200, this year they've arrested over 20-something thousand people with offenses and offense, and about almost 180-something people have been prosecuted. So the senator, distinguished senator, yes, okay. It is a challenge we have in Nigeria that people who make policy and people who make our laws have the information to make those laws. And it is quite unfortunate because most of what Senator Adams Oshomole said here are not very correct. And I wish he was here for me to make the facts clear. Even though I am a former Corps Marshal, I have made out time to always follow up with FRSC's data. And part of that data is the fact that we have three things to do our roads safe in Nigeria. We have three things. And I wanted the Secretary to Government to go back to the President and tell him those three things we need to do to make our roads safe. Number one, the FRSC have told us that in 2025, between January and September, we've lost 5,000 people from road crashes. They told us that within this period, in 2024, we lost 5,421 people and 31,000 were injured. And that means that we have to have 200 aircrafts crashing every 12 days, killing 200 people for us to meet that. It means 200 people. I said this yesterday, but I wanted to repeat it today. It means that we have to have a plane crash every 12 days, killing 200 people for us to kill 5,421 persons. But what is really the crisis? Is that we know the problem. And Senator Adams Oshomole, in talking about the laws, clearly do not know the problems. We know the problems. The problem is that Kaduna State is the state with the highest number of deaths in Nigeria. It's followed by Niger State, Jigawa State, Ogun State, and Oyo. If you remove the deaths from these 5 states, if you reduce it by half, that reduces the number of people that dies in Nigeria by almost 25%. Just 5 states. And we know the risk corridors, Abuja-Kaduna, Lagos-Ibadan, Abuja-Lokoja. If we reduce the deaths on the number of crashes on Unumaru Yaradua Expressway, that is the Abuja Airport Road, a number of crashes in Nigeria, the Abuja Airport Road. If we reduce it by 50%, it brings down the number of crashes in Nigeria by about 10%. So if you think that you are safe in Nigeria because you live in Abuja, you are actually at risk because you are likely to die between Abuja City Gate and the Airport Road. That is one of the worst killing roads in Nigeria. So my view is that we know the problem. The FRSC keeps very good data. The FRSC has important information on what I told these people in front of Prince Eze to please go and sit down. Not to disturb him, please. This is not the time for this, please. So we know the problems. We know the solutions. But the solution is a greater problem. The National Assembly appropriated 3.9 billion naira for the FRSC for capital votes. No new vehicle, no ambulance, no money to tackle the crisis on this area. So I want to tell Senator Adams Oshomole that the money is not there. But we have a simple solution. The president can mandate the Federal Ministry of Works, who has 2.1 trillion naira budget. Only 1.5% of that money, 32 billion naira, spent on new patrol vehicles, on speed devices, on limiting the crisis on these our corridors will reduce deaths by half if we do that. So I want to ask that we send this message to Mr. President, that the Ministry of Roads cannot build highways to death. It is highways to life from those roads. We can't build roads to death. So part of the World Bank decision and the G8 decision is that 10% of road construction costs should be spent on road safety. But unfortunately, we do not have that 10% in Nigeria. So I'm asking that 1.5 to 3% of that money be spent on making our roads safe. We cannot continue to kill people. And I'll tell you what will happen. If we continue to kill people, look at what will happen if we continue to kill people. What will happen is that continue to kill people, in between 2023 and 2030, if we do nothing to what is happening now, a 10% increase every year, 65,000 Nigerians will die from road crashes. That is the cost of doing nothing. We will have about 65,000 deaths, 500,000 injuries. So we need to do something, and that something is urgent. What is urgent is that we don't need new legislation, we don't need new approvals, we just need the president to ask the Ministry of Works that their road construction budget dedicate 1.5% to road safety. That will give us 32 billion naira today. We've done it before. When planes were crashing in 2005 and 6, we went and brought 19.5 billion naira, which at that time was 150 million US dollars to make our roads safe. So as a former Corps Marshal and as a former Minister of Aviation, I keep saying we have not done for the roads what we've done for aviation. We need to do it. We need to do it. And I'm very passionate about this. We need to do for the roads what we've done for aviation. In some 2005 till now, our plane crashes have trended down. If we invest this money now year on year, we can reduce the number of deaths on Nigerian roads. I don't think that it is time for speeches. I don't think it is time for us to talk about the victims. It's time to talk about prevention. We don't want more victims. We want prevention. And the most important part of prevention is limiting speeds on our highway, which is 65% of the crashes, and stopping the commercial vehicles, which causes 70% of our crashes. And I think this is very important. So on behalf of the Athena Center and myself, I wish to say that this conference sets us in the path to solve the problem in Nigeria today. Thank you very much.
Please, may we kindly appreciate the former Minister of Aviation once again. Just before we take the vote of thanks, I have been directed to announce that the breakout session will be done immediately after lunch. We have group 1 and 2. They are to assemble in Rivers Hall. Group 3 will assemble beside Rivers Hall, while group 4 and 5 are to assemble at Umaru Abdullahi Conference Hall. Immediately after the vote of thanks, we shall read out the topics for the panel discussions. And now for the vote of thanks, I have the privilege to bring to the podium the Deputy Commercial in charge of Policy, Research and Statistics, Deputy Commercial Clement Oladele, Fellow of Defense College. Please let's put hands together for him as he comes to give the vote of thanks. You're most welcome, sir.
I think I've actually been ambushed. The commercial was supposed to do this vote of this kind of program. Nobody speaks after the president. He was supposed to give it before the president declares the program closed or open, as it were. Convert this place to their court and sentence me to Kirikiri. I hope I'm pardoned. I think it gives me great pleasure to thank everybody that is here. I think I will start by thanking Mr. President for creating the ambience, for giving the approval. And he demonstrated this by sending a very senior government official, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, to represent him at this occasion. All our invited guests, all our invited speakers, especially those that travel far and wide. One was giving testimony 2 days ago, and he said he had to, I think from Argentina, he had to travel for 2 days to be able to make this conference. That is, I think the commercial said, so let me just hand over to him, sir. I think I can be free now.
Well, I'm very happy for me to be the one to deliver the vote of thanks in this first memorable and momentous conference, the first conference on road crash victims, Africa. I'll start by appreciating His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for accepting our invitation to grace this occasion and by sending a high-powered representative in person of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, His Excellency Senator George Akume, to represent the President. Really, this has shown that President Tinubu's leadership has the commitment, the political commitment, political will, and we're also looking forward to see more political attention and political action on global road safety costs. I want to equally distinguish senators here present, especially Senator Oshomale, Adams Oshomale, for being the keynote speaker. He shared his invaluable insight with us today. The justices, my Lord Justices of the Supreme Court, justices of the Court of Appeal that are here, with particular reference to my own, Honorary Special Marshal, former Chief Justice of the Federation, here seated. Sir, we sincerely appreciate you. The representative of the governors, the Secretary to the Government of the Federal of the Enugu State, Professor Chidibere, that is here representing the Enugu State Governor, my good brother representing the Katsina State Governor that are here. We thank you for the support. We thank you for being here, sparing your time to be with us today. My former commercial, Chief Osita Chidoka, we sincerely thank you for the complete support we have received from the beginning of conceiving this conference till today that you have been with us. International participants, international speakers and contributors, we want to thank you for sharing your invaluable insight, your knowledge, your expertise with us on how to move on and support productive victims with safe journey to our destination when we finish this conference. Rosowa, our wives, led by the President, we thank you for being here. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen that are here, we appreciate you. The organization you made today throughout the conference, ranging from the hospitality, the protocol, it has been marvelous and excellent. God will really reward you and we appreciate you. To those that have not mentioned here, the press, sponsors, let me not forget the sponsor. The lead sponsors, the major sponsors to this conference. I can see the Prince Chief Otto Ede, who is a major sponsor and supporter of this conference and this program. Sir, we appreciate you. Without your something wouldn't have been possible. To the lead sponsor and also the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, we thank you. We thank him. We appreciate him. And may God continue to increase your wealth. Finally, to all those that are here that I have not mentioned, let me say that it has been a pleasure having you with us. God be with, and may God bless all of us here. Thank you and God bless.
I think we should jam our hands some more for the Corps Marshal. Thank you very much, sir, for that beautiful speech. Thank you for the great job you're doing in the FRSC. God bless you, sir. They say behind every successful man is a woman. I think it won't be too much if we acknowledge once again all the members of Rosowa. Please help me celebrate all the beautiful, you can see them dressed in blue, beautiful regalia. Thank you. Just before we wrap up, I would like us to call somebody that gave a very big land for the projection of this course. I would like us to appreciate, and also as I call up, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. He's ably represented by the Mandate Secretary, FCT Transport. Please help me celebrate as I welcome Dr. Chinedum Elechi. Please a round for him as he comes up to take the podium. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, my lords, your excellencies. For want of time, permit me to rest on the already well-established list of protocol. I'm here representing the Honorable Minister, and he has mandated me to deliver this speech. It's a goodwill message by the Honorable Minister, FCT, Barrister Ezenwo Nyesonwike, CON, at the International Road Crash Victims Africa Conference. I am honored to bring greetings from the Federal Capital Territory Administration and residents to this gathering of eminent personalities on the occasion of the International Road Crash Victims Africa Conference 2025. The theme, Gathering the World in Africa for Road Crash Victims, resonates deeply with our collective pursuit of a safer and more compassionate world. As we commemorate all day of remembrance for road traffic crash victims, we acknowledge the devastating impact of road crashes on individuals, families, and communities across Africa and beyond. The World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Victims is a somber yet important day to remember and honor those who have lost their lives in road accidents. This conference, organized by the Federal Road Safety Corps and the Kwabdas Road Safety Demand Foundation, is a beacon of hope, bringing together experts, policymakers, and stakeholders to share experiences, best practices, and innovative solutions to address this pressing issue. I commend the organizers of this conference for their tireless efforts in bringing attention to this critical issue. It is my sincere belief that through collaborative efforts and partnerships, we can achieve our goal of reducing road traffic accidents and saving lives. As an administration, we recognize the importance of road safety in achieving sustainable development and improving the quality of life for all. The construction and rehabilitation of roads and bus embarked upon by the FCTA in both the city and rural areas of the FCT is a testament to our resolve to make roads safe for all road users. The FCT administration is committed to creating a safe and secure environment for all road users. We pledge our support to initiatives that promote road safety, support victims, and prevent road crashes. As you deliberate, let us use this occasion to raise more awareness and advocate for improved road safety measures so that we can prevent future tragedies. On that note, I wish you fruitful discussions and a successful conference. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you so much. That was the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. And now, just before we proceed to the breakout session, we shall take a goodwill message from the private sector. And this time I have the privilege to invite over to the microphone philanthropist Prince Ato Eze. Please put your hands together for him as he delivers his goodwill message.
Thank you very much, my Lord, former Chief Justice of Nigeria and the President of Court of Appeal, ladies and gentlemen, other protocol observed. I'm glad to be here to witness what happened today. It's very sympathetic, where many people were crushed to death. I remember when this young appeal court president, the son died, he was crying as a baby. Very emotional. God have taken place. Thank you very much. I don't want to speak much, but God will solve all their problems. Very soon I'll send a message to your people, and the president also will send. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you so much. That was Prince Ato Eze. And for the breakout session, as I earlier mentioned, we'll converge in Rivers Hall, beside Rivers Hall, and also Umaru Abdullahi Conference Hall. Those interested in plenary panel 8, legal and economic implications of inadequate trauma infrastructure for road crash victims in Nigeria. A presentation to be taken by Honorable Justice Benedict Bakwap Kanyip, PhD, OFR. Those interested in this topic are to proceed after lunch to Rivers Hall. Then those interested in regional policy and institutional commitments, trauma centers and Africa Road Safety Charter, the funding gap to save more lives. A presentation that is to be taken by David Neon Senga, African Union Commission, and Mrs. Maricela Ponzi de Leon Valdez, World Bank Sub-Saharan Africa Transport Policy Program. They are to also converge in Rivers Hall. And for those that are interested in contributing to the presentation on plenary 9, on the topic addressing two-wheelers issues, which is to be handled by Mr. Sam Clark, TransAid UK, are to converge in Umaru Abdullahi Conference Hall. And for those interested in plenary panel 10, on the topic regional commitment to justice for road crash victims, a presentation to be taken by Dr. Malik Fall, Director of Transport, Ministry of Transport, Mauritania, as well as Mrs. Donna Price, President, International Road Victims Partnership, are to converge beside Rivers Hall. And these discussions are to take only but 1 hour, and they are to go on concurrently in all the halls. And now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we shall proceed outside the hall for group photograph. Immediately after the group photograph, we'll proceed for lunch. Thereafter, we'll move into the sessions. Thank you so much. God bless you all. The group photograph is outside the hall, please.
You are watching CTV.
Hey, una never hear Catholic Television of Nigeria. 9 be the Ogbonge television station for town. Where this Catholic Television of Nigeria dey? E dey Wuse Zone 2, Mabolo Street, number 51. Wetin you dey wait for? Come advertise with us on Catholic Television. The Catholic Television dey opposite that Catholic church when they call Holy Rosary Catholic Church. Come and advertise with us on Catholic Television.